Pick up any carton of chicken broth from your grocery shelf. Look at the packaging. You will see words like hearty, homestyle, and slow simmered. You will see images of going liquid, roasted vegetables, and a whole chicken sitting next to a steaming pot. It looks like something your grandmother would make on a Sunday afternoon. It is not. Most chicken broth sold in America has never been slow simmered from real bones. What you're actually buying is factory produced flavored water, engineered to taste like the real thing using a handful of additives that cost a fraction of what real ingredients would, and you are paying a premium for the privilege. Americans spend over $4 billion a year on packaged broth and stock. That is $4 billion flowing into an industry that has quietly replaced real cooking with chemistry. The carton in your hand might contain as little as 1 gram of protein per serving. 1 gram. That is the nutritional signature of hot water with a whisper of chicken flavor. But here's the thing, not every brand is guilty. Some are doing it the right way, using real bones, real vegetables, and real time. I spent over 40 hours auditing every major brand on the shelf to find the truth, and the results were not what I expected. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which 6 brands to leave on the shelf and which 3 are worth every cent. Let us start with why this industry got away with it for so long. To make real chicken stock, you need bones. Ideally, you need bones from pasture-raised chickens, simmered for anywhere from 12 to 18 hours with vegetables, herbs, and water. Over that time, collagen breaks down from the connective tissue and cartilage, dissolving into the liquid and creating that thick, gelatinous body that defines real stock. When you refrigerate real stock, it turns into jelly. That is how you know it is the real thing. But here's the math that changed the industry. Chicken bones cost money. Pasture-raised bones cost even more. And simmering for 12 to 18 hours means labor, energy, and facility time. A factory that can produce thousands of cartons per hour cannot afford to wait 18 hours for collagen to extract naturally. So they found a shortcut. Instead of real bones simmered for real time, manufacturers start with a base of water and a small amount of chicken flavor concentrate. Then they add yeast extract, a processed ingredient derived from the cell walls of yeast. Yeast extract contains free glutamic acids, which are chemically identical to monosodium glutamate, more commonly known as MSG. It delivers that savory umami depth that should come from hours of bone extraction, but it does it in seconds at a fraction of the cost. Then comes natural flavors. A catch-all term, the FDA allows for flavor compounds extracted from natural sources, but often created in a laboratory setting. The word natural on a food label does not mean what most consumers think it means. And finally, many brands add sugar, specifically cane sugar or dextrose, to round out the flavor profile and mask the metallic, hollow taste of a broth that was never properly made. The regulatory system makes all of this perfectly legal. The USDA and FDA split jurisdiction over broth products based on a moisture to protein ratio of 135 to 1. There is no federal standard requiring a minimum number of bones, a minimum simmer time, or a minimum collagen content. As long as the ingredients are listed on the label, brands can sell you flavored water and call it chicken broth. The skip list, 6 brands to leave on the shelf. Brand 1. Swanson is probably the most recognized name in the broth aisle, and that recognition is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Their chicken broth contains chicken stock, salt, natural flavorings, yeast extract, chicken fat, cane sugar, and dry vegetables. That means the depth of flavor you associate with Swanson is not coming from a long, careful simmer. It is coming from yeast extract and lab-derived natural flavors. Each 1 cup serving packs 860 milligrams of sodium, which is 37% of your recommended daily intake. Swanson was also named in a class action lawsuit alleging that its no MSG added label was misleading because yeast extract contains free glutamates that are chemically identical to MSG. Brand 2, Collagen. Collagen markets itself as 100% natural with no artificial flavors. Flip the carton. The ingredients read chicken broth, salt, chicken fat, natural flavors, sugar, yeast extract, and vegetable stock made from concentrates of onion, celery root, and carrot. Notice the pattern. The chicken flavor is propped up by the same trio of shortcuts: yeast extract, natural flavors, and sugar. Collagen is owned by Del Monte Foods, which faced its own class action lawsuit, alleging that its no MSG claim was misleading because the yeast extract in its broth products contains free glutamates. Brand 3, great value, Walmart. Walmart's store brand is one of the most purchased broths in America, and the ingredient list explains why it is also one of the cheapest. The primary ingredient is water. The second is a chicken flavor concentrate, which is itself made of chicken and more water. Then comes yeast extract, chicken fat, potato flour as a thickener, sugar, and salt listed twice, once as salt and once as sea salt. The bottom line, as one reviewer put it, is that this is a box of salty water with a hint of chicken flavor. Each serving contains 830 milligrams of sodium, and the protein content is just 1 gram per cup. Brand 4, Campbell's, which actually owns the Swanson brand, has faced its own legal battles over misleading labeling. A class action lawsuit alleged that Campbell's no MSG added labels were deceptive because the products contain yeast extract, which delivers free glutamates identical to MSG. The company includes a small print disclaimer stating that a small amount of glutamate occurs naturally in yeast extract, but the plaintiffs argued most consumers never notice it. In late 2025, Campbell's faced additional public scrutiny when a leaked audio recording of a company vice president went viral. In the recording, the executive reportedly criticized the quality of Campbell's own products. The company denied the most extreme allegations, but the incident renewed consumer skepticism. Brand 5, CVS Gold Emblem. A pharmacy chain selling chicken broth is already a conceptual stretch, but the ingredients make it worse. CVS Gold Emblem chicken broth contains 860 milligrams of sodium per serving, with salt and sea salt listed as the second and third ingredients. The only evidence of actual chicken beyond the broth concentrate is chicken fat and chicken powder. There is also added sugar, making its sugar content equal to its protein content. Additional flavor comes from yeast extract and onion powder. This is not health food. This is a salt delivery system with a chicken label. Brand 6, Kitchen Basics. Kitchen Basics positions itself as a step above the generic brands, but the ingredient list tells a different story. This broth obtains most of its chicken flavor from chicken fat and dried chicken, and its protein content is supplemented with soy protein concentrate, an industrial additive used to inflate the protein number on the nutrition facts panel. The savory flavor is bolstered by yeast extract and monosodium glutamate, which is listed directly on the label. Kitchen Basics also carries allergen warnings for soy and wheat, which makes it unsuitable for anyone with those sensitivities. You do not need a laboratory to test your chicken broth. You need a refrigerator and 60 seconds of label reading. First, the fridge test. Pour your broth into a bowl and refrigerate it overnight. If it gels and turns into a jelly-like substance, that is natural gelatin from real collagen extraction. Your broth was actually made from bones. If it stays liquid, it was made from flavor concentrates and additives. Of all the major commercial brands on shelves, almost none will pass this test. Second, the ingredient count. Real chicken broth needs 5 or 6 ingredients at most: water, chicken bone, salt, and a few vegetables. If the ingredient list has more than 7 or 8 entries, or if it includes any words you would not find in a home kitchen, put it back. Third, the flip and read. Look for 3 red flags: yeast extract, natural flavors, and sugar. If any of those appear, the manufacturer is using chemical shortcuts to simulate a flavor that should come from real bones and real time. That is not broth. That is a science project in a carton. The real list. 3 brands that are actually worth it. Brand 1, Bonafide Provisions. Bonafide Provisions was founded by Sharon Brown, a clinical nutritionist, and her husband Reb, a professional chef. They started making bone broth because they could not find a commercial product that met their standards. Their chicken bone broth contains just 11 ingredients, all organic: filtered water, free-range chicken bones, carrots, celery, onion, garlic, apple cider vinegar, sea salt, thyme, bay leaf, and parsley. That is it. No yeast extract, no natural flavors, no sugar, no concentrates. Their broth is simmered for over 18 hours, and it is the only widely available commercial broth that consistently gels when refrigerated, a direct indicator of real collagen content. Consumer Reports named it their top bone broth, calling it the only gelatinous option in their selection. At around $11 for a 24-ounce bag, it is not the cheapest option, but per gram of protein, it is one of the best values in the category. Brand 2, Kettle and Fire. Kettle and Fire was founded with the specific mission: make shelf-stable bone broth from real ingredients without any of the industrial shortcuts. Their chicken bone broth uses pasture-raised chicken bones simmered with organic onions, carrots, fennel, leeks, apple cider vinegar, thyme, shiitake mushrooms, tamarind paste, bay leaves, and sea salt. Every vegetable ingredient is certified organic. There is no yeast extract, no natural flavors, and no added sugar anywhere on the label. The founders have resisted selling to a major food conglomerate, which means they retain full control over ingredient sourcing and production methods. With around 20 grams of protein per cup in their bone broth line, it delivers genuine nutritional density. not the 1 gram per cup illusion you get from the big brands. Brand 3, Bluebird Provisions. If simplicity is the ultimate test of quality, Bluebird Provisions wins. Their chicken bone broth powder contains exactly 2 ingredients: filtered water and pasture-raised chicken bones. That is it. No vegetables, no herbs, no salt, no additives of any kind. It delivers 12 grams of protein per prepared cup with 0 fat and 0 carbohydrates. The bones are sourced from non-GMO, pasture-raised chickens, and the product is shelf-stable in a 100% recyclable pouch. For anyone who wants total control over seasoning and flavor while starting from a base of pure, real bone broth, Bluebird is the cleanest option on the market. Here's what it comes down to. The chicken broth industry has spent decades perfecting the art of selling you less for more. They replace bones with yeast extract. They replace time with natural flavors. They replace real food with a chemistry experiment dressed up in warm, inviting packaging. But now you know the playbook. You know what to look for, you know the 3 tests, and you know which brands are doing it the honest way. Your health is not a commodity for these corporations to optimize. Your grocery budget deserves better than factory-made flavored water with a picture of a chicken on the box. The food industry hides behind fine print, but now you know how to read it. If this video helped you see your grocery shelf differently, subscribe. We audit the food industry so you do not have to. Hit the bell so you never miss the next investigation. We tell because you have the right to know the truth.